morning, this is the news coming at you with a recap of the war. As it has been 3 years since our last recap, we have decided to recap what happened in those 3 years. We will follow the events of the war from 1941 to now in 1943. Caitlin will start us off in 1941.
In May 1941, the Germans finally gave up. They stopped the bombings in London. Their attempt to crush our spirits did not work. In fact, it made us more determined to stop the war and to defeat the enemy. Hitler instituted his new order in France and other territories he had ruled over. In this order, he stripped conquered nations of their resources and moved all inferior races out of the way. Many Jews were shipped out of France. Then, in March 1941, the U.S. started to help out. FDR persuaded Congress to pass the Lend-Lease Act. In this act, the U.S. could give or sell land or war materials to any country whose defense the President deems vital to the defense of the U.S. The U.S. stopped supplying Japan when they invaded the East Indies, so Japan struck America. On December 7, 1941, the U.S. joined the war after the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor, which killed more than 2,300 Americans.
We were outraged. The war did not affect us. We were not involved. Of course, we felt bad for all the people in the war, but we wanted to stay neutral. Japan did not allow that, and in doing this, they killed thousands of people.
After this, Japan took over some American islands and took over our British islands of Hong Kong, Bermuda, and Malaya. That was the end of 1941. That brings us to the start of 1942.
Starting in 1942, things were not looking good for us or the Allies. The Japanese attacks in the Pacific were unstoppable, and the Germans were still bombing Britain. Because of this, the Allies committed themselves to total war. Women took their part and started building planes and ships to help the war effort. They also became nurses and helped in the resistance against the Germans. Then, in May 1942, the Japanese had their first setback, the Battle of Coral Sea. An aircraft carrier was sunk and many destroyers and cruisers were also destroyed. This was the first major blow of the Japanese. Then in June, the Japanese took another blow that was even worse. In the Battle of Midway, Americans destroyed 4 aircraft carriers that the Japanese could not launch any more operations. While we were making progress on the Japanese, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin wanted to end the war in Europe before ending the war in Asia. They met periodically and came up with strategies. Hitler then set up his new offensive and aimed at the south, but his troops only made it to Stalingrad. In the battle, Stalin cut off food and supplies. After this, the Allies fought in Rommel and pushed them back in North Africa. It was led by the British officer Bernard Montgomery. In this, we defeated the Germans at El Alamein. In 1943 came around, and Skylar has a story of this year, 1943, that all of this led up to.
At the start of 1943 in January, the Germans surrendered at the Battle of Stalingrad. Rommel also surrendered, improving Britain and the Allies under their victory. Later in July, the combined British and American army landed in Sicily, and then went to Italy and defeated the Italian forces there. The Italians surrendered in September, overthrowing Mussolini and making him sign the armistice. Things are looking up from here on out. Allies are controlling more land, and Germany is finally taking some defeats. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.